So I don't usually put out videos like this, and I don't expect I'll put out a video like this in a while. I've I just needed to like vent real quick because it's one of those kind of nights where it's just everything feels less than stellar, and I just needed to vent, and everyone's asleep. I'm the only one who's awake, so I have no one to talk to, so I decided, fuck it, I'll just make a video, because why not? It gives me something to talk to, so yeah. So, basically, I'm really scared of the world. Not the world as it is, but, like, the further meaning of everything. Or if there is no meaning, so basically, I'm like scared of existence. I'm having existential crisis is what I'm having, and it's really starting to bother me because it's starting to like affect my perception of life and like my perception of existence. I'm not an atheist, at least not yet, and I hope I don't fully ever go atheist, but my brain is starting to like gather more atheistic views. I know that's not a word, but more atheistic views, and it's really starting to affect me in a negative way because for example, the sun, it doesn't feel, when I feel the sun on my skin, it feels normal, but when I think about it, the sun feels like the very light I see casted on the ground from the sun, it 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 kind of just gives off the same vibe to me as like turning on a flashlight or something, but on a bigger scale. It doesn't feel. I don't know how to explain it. The sun feels real. It just feels. It doesn't feel divine. If that's how. If you can understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying the sun is divine, but it doesn't feel. What's the word? What's the word? I don't know the word, but I don't know how to explain that, but I'm sure you guys understand what I mean. It doesn't feel. It doesn't feel right. And another thing that's affecting me is the idea of down or gravity. So usually when I look down, I see just the ground, I see my legs, that's it, right? I just see down. But now, like, sometimes when I look down and I think about it, I see, I don't see down, I see the gravitational pull of the Earth's core, and I see the Earth's core. I don't see it, Sia, but you can understand what I mean. I it's starting, like, it's really starting to affect my perception of the world, and it's really causing problems for me. There's also the matter of the afterlife, which I know people have talked about to like endless degree, and I really, really, really want to believe in an afterlife, and I've believed in an afterlife for all of my life, but now I'm starting to get really, really afraid that there is nothing, and I don't know what that could feel like. Basically, I was playing Space Marine 2 with somebody, and it was through Xbox group posts, so it was a complete random. And he told me that he died once, and he got shocked back to life, and that he felt and saw nothing. And before that, I have already been struggling with the idea of the afterlife, and that cemented sort of my sneaking suspicions, for the lack of a better term, that there's just nothing, and it's really starting to gnaw at my mind, and it's starting to make me very, very scared, because it's not death that scares me necessarily, but it's about dying and my memories that I have just ceasing to exist, because my memories are one of the most important important things for me, and the idea of just dying and losing all my memories, it's a very scary thought for me, and it's really starting to affect me negatively. There's also the matter of me, and I'm not very... I'm very ashamed of what I used to be. I used to be a pretty fucking awful person, and I've always, like... I'm sorry, it's always been a... I've never not been ashamed of myself. This was like a few years ago. I used to be a very bad person. This was the same time when I was when I was a Christian, and I'm trying my hardest to avoid talking about it, but I'm just gonna talk about it. I used to be fucking awful. I would treat people pretty badly, especially, like, not especially, but towards close friends of mine. I used to treat pretty badly, and I would yell at people. I was very disrespectful towards people and towards my family. And looking back at it, I don't think I should have been that disrespectful towards my family. My family are fucking awful. My father is an asshole. My younger brother is a Nazi, as an actual Nazi. My older brother is a straight up jackass. My sister is a whore. Not an actual whore, but she may as well be one because she's a fucking bitch to me. And looking back then, they didn't deserve it, but now I'd say my family deserved every bit of hate I give them, because they're fucking awful. And I know we've steered completely off topic, but good God, I wish I could just go back and change the person I used to be and change some of the mistakes I've made. I wish I could have done that, because it's really affected me negatively, and my life has... I don't know if I'd say it's been permanently ruined. No, actually, no, yeah, I'd say probably my life has been permanently ruined, or at least permanently affected by the things I have said, the things I have done. And it's something I'll have to live with for the rest of my life, and I really don't want to, because it really does keep me up at night. I don't know if a god actually exists. I've always believed in one, but as I said before, my faith in a actual god is like wavering like a lot. And if there is an actual god out there, I really do hope that the person I am now is, or at least is starting to make up for the person I used to be. But another scary thing is, like, the idea of no god, and if everything I do is completely useless and it bears no what's the word? I don't know the word. No importance. So, like, the idea of just screaming out into the void, into space, screaming out for help, and there not being even someone to hear. The idea of like a god rejecting my plea for help, that's very scary. But the idea of there not being anything, see, I'm getting goosebumps right now because it's scaring me. The idea of just there not being anyone to listen to me, it's really terrifying, and it's starting to ruin my like... I also really hate being objectified, obviously because I'm a femboy, and femboys are seen by media and are typically seen as sluts and whores, and sure, I used to play in that sort of stereotype, but not anymore, and I'm really trying my hardest to break through that stereotype, because I really hate it. and I just hate being objectified. There is more I'd like to talk about, but you generally got the idea. So, yeah, I'm very, very scared, and I don't really know how to cope with everything. I'm trying, and my friends are helping me, but I haven't told any of my friends about this. I've hinted at my fear to them a few times, but I've never come out words and told them all of this stuff. They'll probably see the video and probably talk to me about it at a later point, but yeah, I'm really struggling with trying to find a way to just get past all of this, and it's really starting to make me scared, and I don't know how to deal with it. So yeah, that's really all for this video. I know it's not a normal upload, but and I apologize for that, but I just needed to put this video out for my sake, because I needed to cope and I have no one to talk to. So I apologize, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.